Hey, what's up guys? I'm Tommy and welcome to Tommy Tech Outdoors. Today I'm going to be talking about something you should do before you decide to buy a kayak. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be talking about something you should do before you decide to buy a kayak. There are a lot of things that you should consider, like what you're going to be using it for. Are you going to be using it for fishing, for photography? Are you going to be using it to go into rapids? Or even just, touring around? And then also, what's important to you? Do you need it to be paddle kayak, pedal kayak for foot propulsion? Do you need it to be light? Do you need a lot of space for equipment, like if you're going to go fishing? And then also you need to consider where you're going to be using it. Are you going to be going offshore in the ocean? Or are you going to stay inshore? Are you going to be using it in back bays, lakes, rivers, and things like that? So even after you've taken all of those things into consideration, the one thing that I really think you should do before you decide to buy a kayak is to do a demo on that kayak. And then also for the case as if you're going to be buying your very first kayak, I would demo as many kayaks as you possibly can so that you can get a feel of the different kayaks to kind of determine what's most important to you and how that actually fits into the kayak that you're going to be buying. The reason I brought that up is because recently I just went to a kayak demo day provided by Delaware Paddle Sports, and I was able to demo as many kayaks as I wanted to, but I really only had time to do about 10 of them. But the great thing was that I was able to try different ones, try pedal kayaks, different paddle kayaks, and then different brands, because not all kayaks are built the same. And I was able to see what was important to me and how that fit in, because if I actually had done that before I bought my very first kayak, I think I would have probably bought something else actually. To give you kind of a backstory about me and how I got into kayaking, I actually been a boater for several years, and one of my fishing buddies, Martin, he's actually Mock Burner on YouTube. I'll provide a link to his channel in the description below. But for over 10 years, he's been telling me, it's like, Tommy, you need to go buy a kayak. I'm like, what do I need a kayak for? You need to go kayak fishing. And he's been bugging me for over 10 years. And finally, one year, everything lined up. I found actually a kayak, the one that I wanted, for a really great deal. And the funds were there, and my wife was like, go get it if you want it. So I had to go buy it. The only thing is I didn't really get to demo it, and I had to jump on the deal because it was a really good deal. So without even having been on a kayak one time, well, except for back in the day when I took a kayak class, but having never owned a kayak, I actually went ahead and bought the kayak even without demoing it. I actually bought it kind of with Martin's advice, because he's actually owned like a couple kayaks. He owned a Hobie Revo and a Hobie Outback, and I asked of the two, which one did you actually prefer to use, because we do kind of the same types of fishing and crabbing, and he said the Outback, so I went with the Outback. So if I demoed a bunch of other kayaks before I decided to buy the Outback, I think my choice in getting the Outback actually would have changed to something else, because I actually got a chance to demo a whole bunch of different brands, and actually did get a whole bunch of footage, which kind of segues into the next couple videos that I'm actually going to be making for you guys. So when I was at the demo, I actually brought a whole bunch of equipment with me. I brought a couple cameras, and also brought my fish finder so I can get you guys some speeds from my GPS on my fish finder. So coming up in the near future, you're going to be seeing all the kayaks that I demoed, and I'm going to be doing some speed tests as well as doing some turn tests, and then showing some stability where I remember to do it, because I didn't have a whole lot of time, because I was kind of rushing a little bit to do these videos because I had a limited amount of time to do the demos. But I tried to get as much information as I could, so I'm going to be sharing that with you guys in the near future. So one of the great things about the event was that I was able to meet other guys that are interested in kayaks, and talk to them about what was important to them, what they were looking for. It's kind of cool to get a different perspective from, other people to see, what they like. I had some people that were actually looking for a kayak to use in a river. There's another guy that is just like me and just fishes everywhere. So they were looking for something to take everywhere, but then also something that's more mobile, that's kind of easier to take around. So it was actually really cool to meet the different people and get their perspectives during the demo day. And then also you had, experts there, from New Canoe, some from Hobie, and you could actually ask them, whatever questions you have about the kayaks. So it was actually a really great event. So before you decide to buy a kayak, I would highly recommend that you do a demo as many different ones that you can, so that you can determine which one will work best for you. So if you don't have a shop that allows you to demo kayaks, you should probably look at shops that are within driving distance, because Delaware Paddle Sports is actually a 2-hour drive for me to get to them, but it was well worth the drive to be able to demo all those different kayaks. So think about doing that, or then also you can check YouTube, like some of the videos that I provide. I'll have a whole bunch showing what I demoed coming up shortly. So those are some of the options. And also, if you go on forums and such, you can, or even Facebook groups, talk to the guys that have them and see why they like it. So, those are just some other options if you don't have the ability to demo a kayak in person. Actually, as a disclaimer real quick, I am not actually affiliated or sponsored by Delaware Paddle Sports. They're just a really great shop. I actually bought my 2019 Hobie Outback from them last year. They're actually one of the first shops in the area to get Outbacks, and I was so excited to get one. And I was actually one of the first ones to get an Outback in our area. So I just like working with them, and their shop is great. They have everything you could want in that shop. So if you ever go there, just be careful, because you will probably end up leaving with way more than you actually need. They have every single kayak accessory that you could probably ever want in there. So just be careful if you go to their shop. So I wanted to give a big shout out and thanks to Delaware Paddle Sports for putting on the event. The event was actually completely free, so you could demo as many kayaks as you wanted in the allotted time. And they actually do have another kayak demo day event coming up on July 20th. I'd actually really like to go to it, but it's actually my son's birthday on that day, so I can't make it out. So I would highly recommend you guys to go if you guys are interested in demoing a whole bunch of kayaks. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe for future videos. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.